I feel like such a douchebag using this gun. You know what? You can use this gun as long as you move. Like, I'm moving right now, and I'm using it fine. This is how it's meant to be used, not just... This is... Okay, I'll show you how the majority... Not even majority, just like... More than the majority. I'm using it correctly. Like, I'm fucking bossing right now. Damn, I'm good. But the majority, more than the majority, like I said, they will go here. Oh, look, a convenient bush in the bottom corner of the map. I will lay down here and do nothing for the whole game. This is fun, right? I don't know how you do that shit. Like, fucking lay in the back of the map for the whole time. I don't know how that's possible. Whenever I say I'm gonna do that, I forget and I just start sprinting around. I've been doing a lot of complaining on Twitter about people who are shit talking about growing on YouTube. When you do grow on YouTube, a lot of negative comes out. When you're a bigger channel, the amount of shit talkers just rapidly grow. It doesn't grow with the rest of the people. It just spins off because when they see you're a bigger channel, they want to do whatever they can to get your attention. But there's also a lot of good. Like 2 days ago, this guy named How To Gains made like a documentary about my channel. He made a documentary about like I saw him. He said he was gonna do this. I didn't believe him. I thought he was some scrub. He liked and watched every single one of my videos. Even my live streams. I used to live stream on YouTube for like 2 hours and I was terrible with the Wii U. He watched all of that. He watched the entire streams already recorded. So it wasn't even watching a live stream, it was watching a stream. It was like a documentary. The fact that someone would do that without me even asking. He just did it. He wanted to do it, so he did it. That's incredible. That is absolutely incredible. That's why I do YouTube, for these little things like that. The amount of negativity, I see way more of that. I don't pay enough attention to the little good things. At the time where I was recording this, I went to New York 2 days ago. By the time you're watching it, I'm partying it up in Miami. What the fuck was that? 2 days ago, I went to New York City. I live pretty close. I live like 2 hours away, so I go there pretty often. But this is the first time in a while that I've went by myself. By myself, I mean without an adult present. I went with my sister because she had some class, so I just had 4 hours to kill while she was there, and I could derp around, do whatever I want. So for most of the time, I just walked around Central Park. Central Park starts at like 42nd Street. If you go all the way to like 125th is when you get to Harlem. If you don't know what Harlem is, it's not the Harlem. No, not the Harlem Shake. No. Harlem is known as one of the biggest ghettos in the world. And I was like, hey, why not I walk there? So I walked up to Harlem, and I walked all the way up there. And you could see it progressively get more ghetto-y as you get higher up in those streets. And when I got there, I was on 125th, almost at the end of Central Park. I walked all the way up there. I saw these cars behind a traffic... Fuck, I'm trying to tell a story. Fuck you. I saw about 20 cars stop behind a traffic light. It was a red light, so the cars stopped. The light changed to green, and none of the cars moved. I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. None of the cars moved, and nobody cared. Nobody started honking or anything. And so I kept walking by. I was like, I look in the cars. There was nobody in the cars. There were about 20 cars all parked behind a traffic light. They were just normal looking cars, and they were all behind the traffic light, and cars were still going around them, but there were like 20 cars in a row. All empty. There was no one in them. What could have possibly happened so that everyone in that vehicle stopped at the red light and then suddenly all had to leave those cars? And that fucking freaked me out, and so I immediately left. I'm trying not to sound like a pussy, but that kind of scared me. It gotta be like a shooting or something. If everyone had to leave their cars. It was in the middle of the street, and it wasn't like they needed to park there because there were tons of empty spots everywhere. It's Harlem. And also while I was there, I was walking in Central Park, and there were a lot of people like selling stuff, like selling water, and one guy was walking by and was saying, ice cold water, and I didn't want water, so I just walked by him and I didn't say anything. I was walking by, I was like, yeah, okay, no, I don't need water, so I just walked by him. Agua. So because I didn't reply to him, he assumed that I didn't speak English. So he thought, oh, this guy's probably Hispanic. He started saying agua, which means water in Spanish. Do I look that Spanish? Do I look that Hispanic to you? Like, if you went up to a Chinese guy and asked him something and he didn't reply, would you start going, ni hao? Would you do that? I thought that was a little offensive. I'm just saying. New York's also a cool place because it's the center of so many different cultures that you can't really stereotype the New York person because everyone's different and there's so many different languages there. Everyone is a different person. There are also a lot of Bible crazies in New York City. I've seen this every time I've gone there. There are always Bible crazy priests. Like right when I got in the subway, there was a guy like holding up a Bible and reading it in front of the entire subway. All right, you know what? I've said this many times, I'm an atheist, and I'm not going to be offensive towards religious people unless you do stuff like that, okay? I can understand if you're spiritual, but nobody's listening to you, dude. Nobody cares what you have to say. Why can't you just read your Bible on your own time? Everyone wants to go to work. Everyone's walking by this guy. He's wasting up space. On the third day, Michael and Luke. Just stop. Just stop. You can have your own faith, but you don't need to force it down people's necks. In the subway. Okay, this isn't like, I'm trying not to call it religious people here, but nobody gives a shit. People just want to get on with their lives. Nobody wants to hear the Bible right now. How do people not process this? That nobody gives a shit. Nobody cares. People just want to do their own thing. Even if you're Christian, you're gonna stand just because you hear someone reading the Bible. Oh, yeah. Or like people who aren't religious, are they gonna suddenly hear you reading the scripture and be like, oh, maybe I was wrong. Where's the logic there? There's another person walking through the street with a sign like, Jesus is love. Holding the sign through Times Square. Jesus is love. Okay, cool. What does that mean? Everyone already knows that. And if you don't know who Jesus is, then reading Jesus is love doesn't change anything. Because if you don't know who Jesus is, you're like, oh, okay, some guy is love. But if you already know who Jesus is, you already know that everybody loves him. You already know that everyone who supports him loves him. So holding up what does this change? What does holding up this sign do? It's like if I went around New York holding up a sign that say crackers are yummy. It's just some of these people are just like, I don't understand how you can be that ignorant. And you know what? I'm the one who defends religion a lot. I've made videos defending religion morality. It really can bring people together. But do it on your own time. No one gives a shit. You could believe whatever God you want, but why force it down our fucking necks? Do you care if more people support your religion or not? I don't care if more people like crackers or not. I can enjoy my crackers on my own. Crackers are yummy. That's great. If you don't like crackers, I don't give a shit. And you know what? This video will get dislikes just because I'm kind of bashing religion a little bit. I'm trying. Because this guy was like messaging me on Twitter saying, do you even know what atheist means? You're not an atheist. An atheist is when people, just stop. And some of these people's arguments are just fucking mind-blowing. They're mind-blowing. People are backing me up saying like, okay, evolution. So many things disprove what your beliefs are. And he's saying, do you really believe what you read in a science book? You really think I believe you read anything in a book? The Bible is a 3,500-year-old book, and everything you're saying is based off that book, that you don't know what the fuck, you don't know anything. It's the Bible, a 3,500-year-old book. Your entire lifestyle is based off of that book. And you're saying, how can I believe a science book? A book where scientists research day in and day out and have come to proofs that actually prove things. This stone wall here, in this video game right here, if scientists didn't figure out the geometric shape of these rocks and calculate if it would crush or not, then we wouldn't have this. Scientific things can prove things. The Bible cannot. That's just a known fact. It's as simple as that. If you're trying to tell me that I can't believe things that scientists have literally proved and have millions of pieces of evidence against religion, I don't know where to go there, because like these people are calling me ignorant. These people call me ignorant. And like I said, this video will get dislikes. It will. It's inevitable. But you know what? Believe what you want. I can't change what you're gonna believe, because what I say, the millions of pieces of evidence disproving everything in religion will never change your beliefs. You shouldn't believe things in a science book. What do scientists have? Why would they? It just